Hey guys, Dean here. In this video we'll be diving back into the world of Terraria to explore the top 10 must-have Terraria mods in 2023. If you're looking to enhance your Terraria experience and take it to the next level, then this video is of course for you. I've scoured the internet and I've compiled a list of the best Terraria mods of this year to breathe new life into the game, with new features, weapons and NPCs, as well as some challenging bosses too. Now if you want to see the top 50 Terraria mods of all time, which I made 1 month ago, or my last top 10 Terraria mods video, I'll link those in the description below for you to watch next. These include mods which haven't been featured on this list, such as the Calamity mod. These mods are guaranteed to keep you hooked, so sit back and relax, and let's jump into it. Number 10, TF2 Unstoppable Force Immovable Object. Get ready to relive the glory days of 2017 Fortress 2 with this mod, aiming to stay true to the original TF2 experience, promising to bring back all of the classic weapons and their sound effects and many of the features that made TF2 such a nostalgic game. One of the most exciting parts of this mod is the inclusion of all 9 of the stock weapons for the Scout, Pyro, Sniper, Heavy and Demo Man classes, as well as some bonus unlocks like the Sandman, Girardi, Flare Gun, Natasha and also the Eyelander Sword. These weapons have all been faithfully reimagined with their respective sounds, their rarities and their stat sets to remain humble to Valve's title. There's also a built-in reload system for these TF2 guns which can also be optionally disabled, with all item drops and reloads being in the mod's configurable system to control how it runs. There's also the Merc Manifests, which are items that can be collected that allow you to adopt the traits of these classes to make it a little bit more like the actual game. Number 9, Risk of Terrain. If you love the gameplay of Risk of Rain, perhaps this upcoming mod will be for you. It brings everything that you love about Risk of Rain and then transports it into the world of Terraria, giving it a fresh and exciting take on the original beloved title. The best point about this mod is its emphasis on multiplayer, because it actually functions exceptionally well online, which means it's a great one to play with friends. This mod brings all of your favourite characters, items and the enemies of Risk of Rain and reimagines them into the retro style of Terraria. Imagine using such a diverse cast of powerful characters and abilities to fight hordes of aliens, but all in the pixelated art world of Terraria, and that's what you'll get with this mod. Number 8, melee weapons can bounce bullets. If you're a fan of playing the melee class, then you need to check out this mod, as it introduces a game-changing mechanic that will completely revolutionize the way that you play. Gone are the days of defenseless melee players. With this mod, you'll be able to literally repel bullets with your swords and melee weapons, sending them flying back at your enemies with a satisfying ouch. Not only is this new mechanic incredibly fun to mess with, it also gives a huge benefit to players who want to get up close and personal without suffering from projectile damage. Now you can turn the tables. Number 7, MGR Mod. The Metal Gear Rising mod is sure to not disappoint Metal Gear fans, as it will bring all the same action and excitement into Terraria, bringing many of the swords, armor, items and mobs directly from the source material. You'll feel like a true hero in this mod when you wield its powerful swords and gear in its iconic armor sets to take on the challenges that it has in store for you. This mod isn't entirely just about combat, however. There's also a wealth of accessories, buffs, bonus sets, pets and mounts to enhance everything. To begin in the mod, you basically need to acquire a nano machine by defeating mobs from the mod, and then build a standard NPC house for the merchant, who will sell you a special workbench to then create the mod's items. Number 6, Final Fantasy Distant Memories. Get ready for an amazing adventure into the world of Final Fantasy with this passion project, basically being a love letter to the beloved series, featuring rich, exciting new content, focusing upon the Final Fantasy VI title and its costumes, weapons and magical spells. There's a total of 57 character costumes, 7 new bosses to face, and even a Chocobo mount too. Now that's cute. There's also a special merchant NPC that not only sells costume items, but all of the boss summon items, letting you defeat one boss after the other to then unlock the next. With 34 weapons, 12 summons, 11 character abilities, 8 Chocobo mounts, and 1 Magitech armor mount, this mod will keep you busy for hours. Not to mention it also adds 17 magical spells, 18 decorative pieces, 15 accessories, and 4 new shop NPCs, aka vendors. Number 5, Verdant. Are you ready for an adventure underground? Then look no further than the Verdant mod, which introduces a lush and vibrant underground biome which is filled with an abundance of plant life and flora, and also little critters too. This mod packs a serious punch with 98 new items, 76 tiles, 12 wall types, and a series of 9 new discoverable NPCs to actually find, topping it all off with 4 brand new music tracks to improve the atmospheric immersion. Regarding the immersion, the biome also features a new foreground and a new background system to bring Verdant to life, not to mention the questing system of sorts, which is entirely centered on a statue referred to as the Apotheosis, adding a little bit of lore to what the mod is actually all about. Number 4, Mod of Redemption. Mod of Redemption is a mod that will push your skills to the limit, and it isn't exactly for the faint-hearted, as it requires a higher degree of intelligence to fully grasp its complexity. The current version lets you encounter a plethora of exciting content, including a range of pre-hard mode bosses and boss reworks, reworked weaponry, a mechanic called alignment that allows for certain game-altering interactions, the removal of the previous druid class, as well as the introduction of a new class called the Ritualist. This mod also removes a load of bloat content and reworks a lot of the enemy AI in-game to make it less linear and boring. Totaling 901 items, 157 NPCs and enemies, 11 bosses and 7 mini-bosses, as well as 399 tiles, this mod is sure to deliver a thrilling and immersive set of challenges. Number 3, New Beginnings. New Beginnings is an absolute game changer if you're looking for more variety when starting a world, as it brings the addition of new player origins or backgrounds, letting you start out on a new journey with a set of abilities and items which are tailored to your desired playstyle. This mod gives you the chance to begin any new game save with different max life, mana, or change your spawn point. The character creation screen displays a button next to the player's name which lets you switch the origin modes, choosing which background that you prefer to dive into the game with. Not only this, the mod also has unlockable origins, which adds an additional layer of excitement and challenge. As you progress, you have the option to unlock these unique origins through their discovery. Number 2, Smarter Cursor. The Smarter Cursor mod is the ultimate tool for any Terraria builder who wants to say bye-bye to the annoying vanilla cursor that sometimes makes you build stairs when you just wanted to build a bridge. The mod allows for greater precision when making platforms, and it corrects you making annoying mistakes. And it's also pretty good too to fill fill in corners near your cursor's point. The mod generally just removes a lot of the headaches when building, so I'd really recommend it for that reason alone. Honourable mention, BossHealthBar. This is a must-have mod for anyone engaging in boss fights in game, mainly due to the fact that the original BossHealthBar mod was either removed or put to private as of current, and I've received a lot of questions on my other Terraria mod videos asking me for an alternative to that mod. This builds upon the original mod, but with some new content as well as reused content, and there's also some new configuration options, letting you keep track of progress during tough boss fights. Number 1, Thorium Mod. The Thorium mod for Terraria has finally been updated after waiting so long. Thorium now supports Terraria 1.4 Journey's End, which means you can play on the newest version of tModLoader, in before the Thorium vs Calamity comparisons. Looks like I'll need to be updating my top 10 Terraria mods list now too. The Thorium mod is a huge content-rich expansion mod for Terraria, adding in a bunch of new items, NPCs and game-changing mechanics to the gameplay. Thorium adds in a lot of new weapons, armor and accessories to make the progression path different to vanilla, and along with this, you have hundreds of different enemies and crazy bosses which are super challenging. Terraria is already abundant in biomes and tiles, but the new structures that the Thorium mod adds basically turns Terraria into a completely new game. Not to mention it makes changes to the other side of things. I'm talking about the fishing system and its new crafting system. This mod is designed to complement the base game, so you play it alongside it as an enhancement to expand upon the already existent content. So let's move on to some of the changes and additions added into the new version now that I've explained what the Thorium mod is to those of you who are completely uninitiated. So firstly, players will be happy that they can now play the mod in Journey or Master Mode difficulties, as Thorium has full support for both of these game types. The 1.4 content integration also lists all of the brand new creatures added by the Thorium mod straight into the Terraria Vanilla Bestiary book. This means that you can browse and search for them and check out their loot tables and the descriptions in game without having to search externally via the wiki pages, which is quite useful so you don't have to have multiple tabs open, or if you don't have multiple screens like I do, then that will be helpful for you guys too. The NPC happiness system though is also now supported. This basically means that there's biome preferences and other NPC preferences for all of the town NPCs which are added by the Thorium mod, as well as new princess dialogue for all of the NPCs to interact with her too. There's also a big overhaul to the UI system in the mod, one that's now entirely fully customizable also. To configure it, you just jump into the mod configuration section in the settings menu, and then you can use the client configuration of the Thorium mod to make your alterations. This will let you make changes to the health overlay styles on screen, for an example. And one thing to mention too is there's also a ton of new tips on the loading screens based on the Thorium mod, so if you have loading times, you may want to check in the corner to see if there's any tips you didn't know about. Now, the update introduces a series of new classes, 3 of them to be specific, but the main one that you're probably going to be concerned about, or the one that's noticeable, is the Bard class. Since there's journey mode support, you can take advantage of researching modded items now too, so you can also eventually then duplicate them, although this of course doesn't work for any of the unobtainable items in the mod. Anyone using either of these 2 mods, the Heroes mod or Recipe Browser, will now be able to see categories for healing spells which are added in the mod's update too. This is located in the tools filter of these recipe browsers if you're looking for them. One of the most amusing things though about playing on 1.4 is that you can take advantage of Zenith, which is my favourite sword, to absolutely eviscerate all of the bosses in style. Basically being the only downside about playing mods back in 1.3.5 before, because when mods weren't updated yet to 1.4, you just couldn't spawn the Zenith in the old versions of the game. Although of course the Zenith is usually less effective against modded bosses that are post Moonlord of course, but it still looks sweet and it takes a ton of time to craft, so you know it's still an awesome weapon. A lot of the old weapons from the Thorium mod have also seen a visual upgrade, so you'll see a lot of changes in that regard too. This is meaning that many of the old particle effects have been rehashed and reworked in some way to look much better. Some examples of these are the Jungle's Wrath, the Hallowed Staff, High Tide, Old God's Vision, the Golden Locks, Worm's Decimator, Little Red and the Inferno Staff, all of which now look really amazing with their new visual effects, especially when you make a comparison to their old appearances too. You can see there's kind of subtle changes, but they do look much different. The Lich boss has also seen some big changes too, but mainly to how it's actually spawned. The original item which was used to spawn the boss was the Grim Harvest Sigil. This now has been completely removed however, So you need to enter a brand new biome, which is added in the update, which is called the Graveyard. This basically spawns on the dungeon side of your world in the forest region. There's a shrine within this biome, and this is what you now use to actually summon the boss. But to activate it, you'll need to first defeat all 3 of the main mechanical bosses, and you'll also need to have 30 pumpkins in your inventory. This is the requirement for the spawning of the boss. Then you can activate the shrine to simply summon the boss. There's also an accessory that you can get within this biome, which is called the Spirit's Grace, which can be found here too if you're looking for it. So this is a nice little biome which looks visually pleasing, and it adds an extra step in the progression to spawn that boss. That concludes this countdown of the top 10 best Terraria mods to play now in 2023. I hope you found this video informative and that it inspired you to try out some of these amazing mods. Now, I couldn't fit all of the great mods out there into just one video, so I'm counting on you to tell me which ones I missed in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a comment with your favourite mod from this list, and don't forget to check out the description for download links for each mod, as well as links to the 2 other Terraria mods videos that I made, which probably feature some of your favourite mods, which I didn't have the chance to fit into this one. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more Terraria and Minecraft mods content. I'll see you real soon.